Led Zeppelin, the greatest rock and roll band of all time. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm back here with another video. This is Random Tank, and today I'm gonna be ranking Led Zeppelin albums. Yes, I think I'm gonna stick to the album rankings. I think y'all like them a lot more than the songs and all that. I'm just saying because the songs are a lot. They are a lot. When I wanted to do that because I really do enjoy the Beatles, but I wanted to hop around. I do know that a lot of people told me to rank other albums, but I just didn't want to give you all Beatles. You know, I know I'm not just Beatles. I like every single band. I know the Beatles a lot more than these bands though, so try to bear with me because I don't want to like make it sound like I don't know music or this and that. But if you have anything that you want to give me cool stories about, or you know your opinions, then go for it. Again, these are my opinions. I want to give you my honest truth, my honest opinion on things. This is off my dome, off my head. I don't write nothing down. I just speak as I talk, if that makes sense. And I speak really bad. Y'all gonna be laughing at me a lot. But if you do enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share it, comment. I do like to see your comments. I have commented on almost everybody that has watched my videos. It's awesome. I do enjoy the support. I enjoy that you are loving it, and I hope you do it indeed and still love it. Sorry. As always, let's get into the video. Let's go. First album. Every journey begins with Z single step. This is Z Zeppelin Journey. Album was released on January 12, 1969 in the United States and on 31st of March in the United Kingdom by Atlantic Records. Selling over 8 million copies. Led Zeppelin was a highly innovative band that created a new sound. It was a really good album. Well, I mean, the album was the first of nine, well, if you want to count this as an album. And it just brought forth Led Zeppelin. I mean, pretty much, you know. You get a feel of what Led Zeppelin was to bring. The album is relatively, I won't say long. Let me just double check. 44 minutes. It's a normal album. Pretty much normal alley for that. Yeah, I mean, this is the band that is known as, which was come to known as heavy metal or horror rock. They're combining three elements of their acoustic folk, mysticism. With their acoustic folk, hippie mysticism. I can't really say that word. Mysticism. That's how you say it. And power chords with high volume and distortion. It was recorded in about 30 hours of studio time, stretched over a 3-week period, as Page stated, Jimmy Page. The album was not bad. You know, coming forth as a band out of nowhere. I think their first song was Good Time, Bad Times was their first single off the album, which is the first song in the album. But if I'm going to rank this album, it's not bad. I'll give it a low B. I like the lyrics in a lot of songs, but like, don't get me wrong, it's Led Zeppelin. I enjoyed listening to the guitar and the music and the instruments. I loved everything about it. That wasn't the big problem to me. It's just the fact being that some songs were too long. I just felt like they stretched it out. Then again, it was showing them that they are musicians, and that's another reason why they are said to be the greatest band of all time. I mean, you have Jimmy Page as your guitarist and John Bonham as your drummer. I mean, and I understand why you're doing this. I'm pretty sure they were really young too. Jimmy Page was really young, like 19, 20 type young. Like, good God. But my top 3 songs on this album have to be Good Time, Bad Times, first song, Your Time Is Gonna Come, and Black Mountainside. I think I remember trying to play this in school, the Black Mountainside. I think because I was a drummer, so I think I remember trying to play that little drum beat a lot, and without even knowing a song. My least favorite song is probably I Can't Quit You, Baby. Not a bad song at all, but again, it's the beauty of their instruments. But it's more that than it was a song. Got what I'm saying? It was more like an instrumental. Yeah, it's some lyrics. It's a song. It's not a song. But I think it's great at a low B. So that's my final ranking for this. A B. Our next album, we have Led Zeppelin 2, being released on October 22nd, 1969 in the United States, and on October 31st, 1969 in the United Kingdom by Atlantic Records. On November 15, 1999, this album will receive 12 times platinum by the Recording Industrial Associations of America, RIWA, for sales passing 12 million copies. Good God. The last album, I don't know if I mentioned, was 8 million copies, so 4 million. I mean, that's a lot. A lot more. I mean, everyone always says that the second album is the hardest to make because now you want to keep your audience and listeners' attention, even the fans. You want to have them understand that, like, you're good still. You know, it wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't just a good album. You know, we can make better albums. And that's what kind of happens here. I mean, since its release, various writers and music critics have regularly cited Led Zeppelin 2 as one of the greatest and most influential albums of all time. I mean, it's not false. I mean, me personally, you know, it's a great album. Maybe not their best, and I'll get there, but it is highly doubted as their best. And you know, everyone's opinion is different, of course. I understand, but again, it's not easy to do that type of stuff. I mean, the cover is also pretty cool. When asked about it, it's all right. That one's a cool cover. I mean, it's the Led Zeppelin. But this one is kind of, they're just put in together, and people ask, like, what is it about? It's John Paul Jones, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, and John Bonham's faces on two members of the Ron Riefenstaphen's Squadron from a 1969 press photo of the band. Still pretty cool. The little fact about them: the album's opening track, "Whole Lotta Love," which is a great song. That's another good opening song from back-to-back albums. Gave Led Zeppelin their only U.S. top 10 and their first hit single in the U.K. And I'm pretty sure it came like in 1999 in the U.K., which is really crazy. But it don't matter. And it was something like that. Okay, 1997. I'm sorry. I could go on and on about this album being great, but if I'm gonna rank it, it's an A. I think that's a good place to put it. I won't give it an S, but it's an A. I do like it. My top 3 songs on here are "Whole Lotta Love," of course. "Thank You." I love "Thank You." Like, I love a lot of songs that I love by Led Zeppelin are his. I won't call them. I don't know to call them emotional, but something like "Emotional Love." And again, I'll get through them into the other albums. But he was really able to pull you, and you felt it. You felt it, and it just he had a great voice for it. Robert Plant had just a great voice. He dedicated this song to his wife, Maureen. It was the first Zeppelin song that Plant wrote all the lyrics for. That's awesome. "She's a Woman" is my third favorite song. I also really do enjoy "Ramble On" and "She's a Woman." Those are those are really good songs too. My least favorite song is, I know people are gonna, I don't want to say hate, because it's a good album. It's hard to rank bad songs on a good album. It's not like they're bad songs. It's just my least favorite song of the bunch. It's not a bad song. It's either Moby Dick, and Moby Dick's so good. And the only reason I'm saying Moby Dick is because, again, I'm a drummer. It's hard for me to even say that. It just, I really don't even know how to explain it. It's they're all good songs. It's just the fact being that it's just drums most of the time, and like, I know there's like videos somewhere of him playing with his hands at one point on Moby Dick. I mean, John Bonham was crazy. And then Bring It On Home, I can even say too. It's a really good song, but I just felt like maybe they should have switched that in Moby Dick. Have Moby Dick as the last song, because going to Moby Dick to Bring It On, it kind of shifted my mood. That's what I have for that. And of course, this is a high A. It's a good album. So my final ranking, high A. I get it. That we come from the land of the ice and snow, from the midnight suns where the hot spring flows. The hammer of the gods. That's a hard song. Come on out. That's a hard song. We got, and it's, if you ever saw School of Rock, you know that Jack Black is in love with Led Zeppelin, and that song. Well, not every song, but that. If you know Led Zeppelin, you probably heard that song around times and been like, oh, that's a Led Zeppelin song? Yes, the Immigrant Song, which is a song about Vikings, which is awesome. It's awesome. That's awesome. Led Zeppelin 3 is the third studio album by the band. and it was released on October 5th, 1970. Cool fact about it, it was recorded in 3 locations: Rolling Stones Mobile Headley, Grange, Hampshire's Island Olympic, and London. I believe those are the 3 locations. If I butchered them or said something, I don't know if I'm saying the locations right. Like, I don't know if Rolling Stones Mobile is a location, and then Headley Grange is a location, but debating about how they use the comments, I'm guessing that I said it right. It sold over 6 million copies. Some fans would say that Led Zeppelin might argue the band's 3rd album is the best band. Following 2 straight years of constant touring, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant returned home to write more folk-based songs. A fact that I find crazy is Robert Plant was 22 when the album was released. Album kind of shaped the future of the music scene. The album did something more than despite a new sound from the band. It completely revolutionized the direction of rock music from then on. For one of the first times, heavy rock was allowed to coincide with traditional folk to formulate a new genre. The integrate melodies and victoristic experimentations with instruments infiltrated the sex-oriented, guitar-driven tracks that the band had become founded on, changing the course of the band's sound and allowing the new approach towards rock music to be seen for generations to come. I found this. The back cover was a composite shot of the best photographs from the photographer's session. Zeppelin chose the images because he wanted to show them as the giant force they were in music. In France, the album was released with different album covers, so they shown a photo of the 4 band members. That's really cool. So that's what we know about the album cover facts. If I am to rank this album, I'm gonna give it a B. It's a good album. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but like it starts off good, then it gets a little low and everything like that. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Renan Tang from the future. Don't really explain it that well. I mean, I kind of just like bullshitted y'all, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm gonna leave it at a B. It starts off strong. The album is great. You know, a lot of people did say this is their best album, their favorite album. To me, it's not a bad album. A B's pretty high, but from the very start, you know, I like the start of it's very nice, and then it kind of, you know, it gets a little jumpy. Not jumpy like that, but like I couldn't flow with it very well. Again, this is my opinions on it. The album's good. To me, I think a B is great to put it at. You know, it didn't stand out a lot. It has a lot of good songs on it, but not a lot of great songs. Immigrant Song starts it off, like I said, and then it flows around. I got some favorite songs on there that I explained, but the album's not bad. But a B is where I'm going to put it. You can even rank it at A, but I think a B is the perfect place to put it, so that's where I'm going. But my top 3 songs are the Immigrant Song, a song about Vikings. The song was written on a trip from Iceland, where Zeppelin had just played. Hence, the lyrics coming from your western shores. But there's the double meaning. The song is referring to the Vikings' conquest of England. It's a good song. Like, they didn't mean, like, a cool thing, they didn't mean this song to, they wanted this song to be, like, humorous, like, relating their adventures of roads of Vikings and all that, but people took them as a serious band, so they didn't take it as a joke, and they had, like, they took it quite serious. I also like Gallows Pole and Tangerine. My least favorite song probably on this album would be Roy Harper, only because it sounds like he's trapped in a box. It doesn't sound like he's really recording. Again, if that's what they wanted to go for, you did good. It just didn't pull me. And again, other people will disagree, and I understand. I'm pretty sure they spent a good amount of days or whatever on this album, or traveling back and forth. It was a really tough album, but I think a B is where it's gonna be. So sorry, no pun. But my final ranking of the album is a B. Led Zeppelin 4. This album was released on November 8th, 1971 by Atlantic Records. The album was a commercial and critical success right away. It's Led Zeppelin's best-selling album. It has over 37 million copies worldwide. It is such a great album. A lot of reasons because of the relaxed environment of Healy Grange. The band made many of the album's songs there on the spot and recorded almost immediately. That's crazy. Said to be the greatest album of all time. Debately, came together and really did release a top tier album. They wanted to even add more to the album, but I think it was just fine the way it is. I mean, if they added more, it could have like I don't know if it would have changed really I think it still would have been a great album, but it depends. It depends. So the man actually on this album is Robert Plant. He's just dressed up as an old guy with a bunch of sticks on him. Funny enough, I did not know that, but that's cool. The cover itself wasn't even meant to antagonize the record company, Jimmy Page said, but it was designed as our response to the music critics who maintained that success of our first 3 albums was driven by hype and not talent. So we stripped everything away and let the music do the talking. A lot of things you can go into this album. My top 3 songs on this album have to be Black Dog, Stairway to Heaven, which is arguably the greatest rock song of all time, and this is definitely their best song. The solo on Stairway to Heaven was completely improvised also, Page said. He said that, like, the 50 seconds of it, he just kind of, like, did on the fly. He said the solo sounds constructed and it is sort of, but purely all at the moment. He did 3 takes all different and just picked the best one. Crazy. I also like Going to California. It's also a really good one. And my least favorite song probably on this album have to be either, it's probably going to be Four Sticks. I just, you know, that's what a lot of people will pick. It's just the one song that doesn't fit with me all that well. Every other song I really like, but I can also even say like maybe Battle Evermore, but not really. I mean, the only reason I'll say that is just because it's kind of slow at the start, but the build up into Stairway, it just felt slow, not slow, but it just kind of felt slow. But I was wrong. I went back and listened to it. But I'd probably say Four Sticks, but the build up into Stairway was great. The album was great. I can't take nothing away from how good the album was. If I'm going to rank this album, I'm going to give it an S. Either an S or a really, really high A, but I'm going to give it an S. Again, it has one of the best rock songs of all time, and it really kind of cemented them and said that we are a really good a band, and people were really starting to take hold that they are a really good band. I mean, at this point, I think a lot of people can even argue like this is the greatest rock band of all time, and a lot of people will mostly agree. You know, there's not really a lot of fact that says that they're not. Of course, you have your other bands, but at this moment, the Led Zeppelin was competing for that throne and really close to it. So if I am going to rank this album, it's going to be an S. Hello, this is me from the future. I have to re-rank these albums. I just finished this. But my microphone was messed up. So this is what I sounded like. Many have I loved, and many times been bitten. Man, do I wish I can sound like that, or sing like that. But that was Robot, Random Tank. So, I'm just gonna go through this again. So if I sound, if I sound a bit, you know, angry, that's why. But hey, stuff happens. So, for House of the Holy, which is probably considered my favorite Led Zeppelin album. Well, not which, it is my favorite Led Zeppelin album. This album was no doubt in my mind an S from the very start to finish. They dominated with each song. Album was released on March 28th, 1973, and it is in the top 1% of the best albums ever made. The cover art was inspired by The Ending of a Childhood's End, a novel by Arthur C. Clarke. It also featured several hundred naked children roaming the earth to create the feel of a large group of children. The Gates kids were photographed in black and white and multi-printed to create 11 children on the cover. Cool. Cool fact I also found about this album is that the foundation of the album was recorded at Mick Jagger's country home Star Grooves, their normal spot being Headley Grange, but that being unavailable that spring of 72, they went to Mick Jagger's bought studio. While many of the tracks were completed at Electric Lady and London's Olympic Studios, the time at Star Groups captured the free-willing creativity found on the final album. Again, I really do enjoy the album. There's so many songs on here that I really do like. It reminds me a lot of my childhood because I learned so many of these songs. And this is songs that I found out how to make for drumming, guitarists, anything that you can think of. It was that good of an album to go and do. My top songs on these album are damn near every song, but I love the Rain song, Over the Hills and Far Away, The Grudge, Dire Maker, and No Quarter. I don't really have a least favorite song. I just thought they were all really good. I mean, I really can't even like think of one. Maybe the first song being The song remains the same. It's not. I really don't have one, so I'm not even gonna try. I mean, if I have to, it'll probably be that. I did it with the Beatles, so I'll do it with this. Again, no doubt in my mind, NS from the start. I loved it. I enjoyed it. My favorite album by them. Every single song ties into it together. I also have cool facts about some of the songs, like for instance the Rain song, which was inspired when George Harrison met John Bonham and remarked that the problem with the drummers band was that they didn't do any ballads. Page took that as a challenge and also said that the beginning of the Rain song, that was the first couple of songs of something. As cool as weird as it may seem today, this album, to your parents they'll tell you, or to y'all they'll tell you that this album is one of their best, but when it first came out, it wasn't looked at that. It was kind of shunned away. Now, it's considered one of the greatest albums of all time. Back then, it was considered, I know, crazy. It wasn't around for this type time, but I can only imagine like an album just growing onto you and just holding you, just going like, wow, we were wrong, and then the people going like, I never underestimated Led Zeppelin. That album was great from start to finish. If I am going to rank this album, I'm going to be an S. I will let the sun beat down upon my face, stars within my dreams. Oh, let the sun beat down upon my face, stars fill my dreams. Something like that. Great song. Next we move on to the next album, Physical Graffiti. This album was released on February 24th, 1975. It's actually two physical places. As the album cover, it's two apartment buildings that were built side by side at 96 and 98 St. Mark's Place in New York City, New York. Graphic designer Peter Forreston found the buildings for the cover and masterminded the artwork into existence. John Paul Jones of Led Zeppelin actually almost quit during this time also. He was stating that he was disillusioned and seriously considered becoming a choir master at Winchester's Cathedral before Zepp's manager Peter Grant talked him out of it. Good job, Peter. Upon return, Jones obviously felt rejuvenated because he even laid down some additional guitar. Some of my favorite songs on this album will go and have to be The Rover, Trampled Underfoot, Kashmir, which is my favorite on here, 10 Years Gone, The Wanton Song, and my least favorite is Bron Your Aru. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. It's I really do like the instruments. It's just my least favorite. Nothing. It's a really good album. So a lot of the other songs are really good. Kashmir is probably my favorite. I really love the very beginning of it, of course, and then, of course, I really love the Wanton Song. When talking about talking about Kashmir, all the band members agreed that this is one of their best musical achievements. Robert Plant said it's one of his favorites. It was so positive lyrically, and he has said that it's when asked about what is the greatest Led Zeppelin rip of all time. This is, of course, one of Robert Plant's favorites album in general, and in 1983, John Hutchinson of Record Magazine asked him what he would consider the highlight of his time with Zeppelin. First song that popped into Plant's mind wasn't Stairway to Heaven or Whole Lotta Love. It was the Wanton Song. I remember recording this session. He said it was so electric, so quick, and so fruitful. Trampled Underfoot was another one. The most impromptu numbers are the ones that really come to mind, rather than the time-consuming things that were worked out and constructed. Woo! It's a really good album. Ranking-wise, I believe it's their longest album. It's like 88 minutes or something. That might be the deluxe, and I might be wrong. But it is one of their longest albums altogether. At first, I was giving it a high A to an S. But if I'm going to rank it, it's hard for me because, I say it's a really good album. Not every song hits with me, but damn near every song hits with me. It's between these two. If I could put it in the middle, I will put it in the middle as an SA. Because I think it's a really, really high A, if I'm being honest. you can put it S. You know, if you say it's an S, I will agree with you. If you say it's an A, I will agree with you. If you say it's a B, I will disagree with you. If you say it's a low A, I will disagree with you. It's a high A or a right there S. You know, put it where you want. I'm gonna leave it at a high A. Maybe a couple of songs just don't hit me the way that I want it to. It's just it's again it's not that easy when you have such a good album. Really want to give it its flowers, but it didn't give you everything. Maybe they had a song like "Thank You" or "All My Love" on here. I'll give it an S. You know, I wish they did more songs like that. It doesn't. So I'm gonna leave it at a high A. I think that's a perfect place to put it. So for my final ranking for this album, I'm gonna give it a high A. All right, next we move on to Presence. I'm not a fan of this album at all. I'm gonna cut the bullshit. I really do not like this album. It's Led Zeppelin and all, but I really did not enjoy this album. Would I say it's horrible? No. But would I throw this album on just to play it? No. I wouldn't when you got all these other albums, of course. And, you know, and I look, I'm not a musician or anything, like they were. You know, I know like music, but you know, to make an album after back-to-back great albums, it's hard. No, it's not easy. It's really not easy to make an album that well or good or like back-to-back. You know, sometimes that really ties on to a band. Plus a lot of stuff that was going on around that time. You know, I couldn't get into it. This album was released on March 31st, 1976, and inside the sleeve of the album is referred to as simply the object. It was intended to represent Zeppelin's force and presence. Hypnosis co-founder Storm Thorgerson, yes, you heard his name right, Storm Thorgerson.
That's badass. It is badass. Really cool. Badass, yeah.
That is one of the most badass names I have ever heard in my life. Wrote that the obelisk represented the power of Led Zeppelin, saying they were so powerful they didn't need to be there. The cover and inside sleeve, created by Hypnosis with George Hardy, features images of people interacting with a black obelisk-shaped object. Now, Achilles' Last Stand is beautiful. He's my top songs on this album. There was only 7 songs, but again, you can have Led Zeppelin make 3 songs, and it could be a 30-minute album or a 30-minute EP of just 3 songs. I loved Achilles' Last Stand and T for One. Those are my favorite songs. Now for Achilles' Last Stand facts, Robert Plant and his wife were in a car crash while on a holiday in Greece, which ended up the crash ended up breaking Plant's ankle. And instead of touring the U.S., Plant and Jimmy Page wrote material for Presence. Then they recorded it at a Musicland Studios in München, Germany, with Plant in a wheelchair. Plant got so excited while recording this that he fell and re-injured his ankle. Funny because the song's namesake, Achilles, the title was both on acknowledged of Plant's broken ankle as well as the mystic location in the Atlas Mountains of Morocco, which inspired the lyrics. Now, during the crash, Plant's wife, Maureen, he states, when he was in the crash, she was bleeding and unconscious, and he thought she was dead. The children were screaming in the back, and fortunately, Charlotte and Shirley in the next car were there to summon help. But it was still several hours before the Plant could be taken on the back of a nearby fruit farmer's flatbed truck to a nearby hospital. So they really had to stay there that long. Oh my God. And for Plant, he just has an ankle broken. But his wife, on the other hand, Maureen, when they finally got to the hospital, they found out that she has suffered a fractured skull, broken pelvis, and her leg. So a round of applause to her. I mean, good God. She really overcame those odds. I mean, she fought for her life. Imagine like breaking something like that and just having to wait several hours until help. Maybe you have watched my video on something worse that's happened to you like that. I give you, if I could shake your hand, clap for you, good for you. I mean, hey man, that's no easy task. And she gave birth 2-3 times. I know her. She was already strong. Plant's son, Karak, had also broken a leg, while Carmen had broken her wrist. Scarlett, on the other hand, was the only one to escape with just a few cuts and bruises. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but that's still a cool fact. Not them getting hurt, but like the song and all that, and how the song came to alive, if you didn't know. Above all, I didn't like this album, so I'm giving it a D. Giving it a high D. I can throw in a C in there, like a really, really, really high D, just like I did with Physical Graffiti. But because like Clearly's Last Stand is what really like pushes it up, because it had 2 songs that I was able to push onto. So it wasn't like it didn't grab me. It wasn't like complete utter garbage. Like I can listen to some of the songs. It's Led Zeppelin. Like it's not horrible. I just didn't like what they went with it. You know, it's not like songs I'll be like, turn it off, it's horrible. No, it was nothing like that. But sometimes they make long songs to the point where they outdo themselves, and I'm like, you know, something like that. But I'm gonna leave it at a D. That's gonna be my final ranking, a D. Or I'm not even gonna sing this one because, you know, I don't have that emotion that he's feeling on this song or that song. In Throughout the Door is considered our final Led Zeppelin album. I know there's 2 up on the board. We'll get to that. This album was recorded in 3 weeks in November and December 1978 at ABBA's Polar Studios in Stockholm, Germany, and released by Swan Song Records on August 15, 1979. The music on In Throughout the Door is dominated by Jones. The 2 songs from the album, Southbound Ceres and All My Love, were the only 2 original Led Zeppelin songs that Page had no part in writing. In Throughout the Door is the group's only studio album for which John Bonham received no writing credit. And this being Led Zeppelin's final album, In Throughout the Door found the group's feeling out the future, even as they inevitably said goodbye. Alan York also he also states that the higher you fly, the further you fall is often replied to Led Zeppelin's career. Now, the cover art for this was designed by Hypnosis, best known for their work on Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon LP cover, which is considered one of the greatest albums of all time also. It was originally issued in 6 different color variations. Each side of each cover variation was a view perspective of each of 6 people in a bar scene. My top songs on these albums are In the Evening, Full in the Rain, and All My Love, which is my favorite Led Zeppelin song. You know, you have other songs like Kashmir I can throw in there, Wonton, Far on the Hills and Far, Far Away. They're all some of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs, but I just really do love the emotion for this. When I was a kid, I was told that his wife passed away with his son, but I literally just found out today that it was just his son. I did not know it was just his son. I thought his wife also passed away in the car crash. So it's always hold a deeper meaning to me, because I can really, like, his emotion just really caresses me. I know I don't feel his pain, but, you know, I don't want you to think that anything happened to me, but it's just it's just the way that you can really feel it. It was like one of those songs, and I really, like I said earlier, I really wish that they did more songs like this. I felt like they would have been so, it might have made me grasp towards them more. That's another reason why I believe the Beatles are such a better band, because they weren't afraid to attack their crucial parts. So Led Zeppelin, again, like, they didn't seem like that. Like, these Led Zeppelin were gods. They were heaven-sent people. They weren't humans. They were not humans. Led Zeppelin were, like, everyone on Led Zeppelin were crazy. Now, I haven't gotten into the Stones yet. I know about them, but I haven't heard every song by them. So right now, Led Zeppelin's definitely high in there. A fact about All My Love, which is my favorite song, is, of course, when Plant says that the tour that they went on in 1977 ended because I lost my boy, but it also ended before it ended, really. I suggested that Plant and Led Zeppelin, it says that Plant, the oral history of the world's greatest rock band. It was just a mess while there was the actual access of all this stuff. Where do I go to if it's really bad for me? So he's kind of stating that the band was already falling apart. Now this didn't make it help anymore. That this being their last really album together, they knew it. They knew that they didn't have that connection anymore. And it sucks because, you know, a lot of them said that they wanted to push more and grasp more and go into the future more and see where it could have taken them. You know, the band has drifted apart, it says, with guitarist Jimmy Page and drummer John Bonham hanging out together and rarely showing up on time for recording sessions. As a result, many of the songs on In Throughout the Door were put together by Plant and Jones, with Page and Bonham adding their parts late at night. Again, they weren't all together. It sucks, but it's kind of a common knowledge with a lot of bands. A lot of, you know, almost every band breaks up, and you know, as much as you don't want to see it happen, as much as you don't want to see that happen, it happens. You know, not all good things, all good things must pass. All things come to an end. You know, and you know, to be able to witness what a lot of people have saw. I mean, again, I wasn't born around this time, but some people saw them from start to finish. Some people were alive and witnessed not only the Beatles, but then Led Zeppelin, then Stones, then Pink Floyd. My good God, what a time! What a time they were in. Also, in Fool in the Rain, which is another one of my favorite songs by them. This is the last Led Zeppelin song to chart in U.S. The group didn't release many singles, but pledged this for one more popular appeal. Zeppelin retired with 6 top 40 hits in America, and I'm pretty sure he wrote this song after watching the World Cup, or in Argentina, or Argentina in the World Cup, or something like that. Another thing that also stands out to me is the fact that Led Zeppelin never had a number one song. That surprises the shit out of me, and many other people. I'm sorry for cursing a lot. That to me is just unheard of. But I'm gonna rank this album. I'm giving it an S. The album was great. Again, if they had maybe like another, like if maybe like Physical Graffiti had something like All My Love, that would have been an S right away for me, or just something a little more present. You know, all these would probably be like a super S. A House of Holy would be a super S if I could rank one like that. I liked every single song on that album. I mean, it was so good. This being their last album, they came and they delivered, and John Plant and Jones really did put together a great album. And it sucks seeing what happens after, but that's pretty much the real album rankings. So my final ranking for In Throughout the Door, an S. Alright, now we're on to our last album, Coda. It's just Coda. It's not Coda. So I just thought that was funny. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you laugh. But you know, when I was going through these albums, you know, I searched up, of course, like I wanted to know like what albums were stapled as Led Zeppelin's albums. And I can consider this an album, and I'm going to rank it as one, but I'm not going to rank it as deeply as one. What I mean by that is they didn't really put a mindset behind Coda. It's just songs that they released before in their 12 years as a band that they just threw together into a compilation and said, here you go to the fans. This is a big thank you. This was released on November 12th, 1982. If you actually look up the definition of Coda, though, it means a concluding event, or in the sonic sense, a piece of music at the end of a longer piece of music. My top songs on this album are probably I Can't Quit You Baby, Bonzos, and least fave, Walter's Walk. I actually had a cat named Bonzo, which is a really cool name, of course, after John Bonham, who suddenly passed away from, he choked on his vomit. I don't know what it's called. It's called like aspirationless. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, even though I don't even know what it looks like. I just try to went off the top of my head of what his cause of death was. I know he fell asleep, choked on vomit, passed away on his vomit, which is horrible. God bless John Bonham, who is considered one of the greatest drummers of all time. You know, and when Bonham passed away, it kind of like that was it. That really did seal the deal for them as a band, saying like, we really are done. You know, we can always come back together, but we just lost. It would never be the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would never be the same. You know, John Paul Jones also reflects in an interview. He does look back on a lot of what they did, and he's sad because he says it really was the start of a whole new era for us that never really got going. Just imagine the band were to stay together just for a little, a little longer, make a little more songs just together. Maybe they could have been better than the Beatles. But if I had to rank this album, it's a low B. It's low B, maybe C. It wasn't a bad album. It wasn't like Presents, which I didn't really enjoy. But just songs that they put together. They didn't really have a whole idea behind it. Again, they just threw it together. But it wasn't a bad album. I could listen to it. Unlike these albums were. These were the albums right here. These two are good albums. If I was to tell you to go listen to, if you were to ask me what Led Zeppelin album to start with, of course I'm going to say start at the beginning and work your way through so you can progress and understand. Because a lot of these songs, again, your mind's different than my mind. You might like these songs more. My favorite will be House of the Holy. It just hits me on a different perspective. I really do like this album though too, and Throughout the Door, and Physical Graffiti. Even though Physical Graffiti is not an S, these will be my favorites. Of course, it's Led Zeppelin. This is considered one of the greatest and the greatest band of all time. But this is my list I have for y'all. I really do hope you enjoy. I really do hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed facts and comments and everything that you probably already knew about. But just to sit back and to get a bigger standpoint from a younger generation, and for me to even tell the younger generation, hey man, this is a good band. If you don't know about Led Zeppelin, you're lost. We're talking Led Zeppelin. You heard Led Zeppelin. I know you heard Stairway to Heaven many times. You should know Led Zeppelin. But as always, I do want to say thank you for watching the video. If you watched it all the way through, if you did enjoy the video and you like Led Zeppelin, give it a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think about it. Let me know how you feel I did. I know a lot of you are probably going to disagree with me on this one, but maybe some of y'all will say more facts. I like reading the comments. I don't know Led Zeppelin like I know a lot of, I know the Beatles the most. I don't know Led Zeppelin like I know the Beatles, not even close. So maybe some of y'all have cooler facts that I can know and you can share with me. If you want to do subscribe, tell me other albums I should go next. I know a lot of people want me to go back to the Beatles, but I want to go do the Stones or Pink Floyd and to rank those albums, because those albums are, again, these are, we're talking such a great musical presence. But of course, I thank you so much for all the support and all the love. As always, this has been Random Tank. I'll see y'all in the next video. Talk to y'all.